wetting my back out. I don't know how we're going to get into all of that, but to help me do just that, you'll see I've got a great guest. The line next to me and David James, Shaun Goat with Stephen McInerney. My name is Kel Spellman. In the 188th Manchester derby with only 45 minutes played, it's Manchester City 4, Manchester United 0.
Say it again, Kel. Say
Manchester
it again.
City 4, United 0. They're already leaving the away end across the stadium there. There's still a second half to come. David, you take it over. I'm a mess here.
Right. What can I say? The early goal. I mean, it was deserved. There was a little flurry before the goal was scored, and all of a sudden it's going to be 4-5-0, and then all of a sudden we're dead. The game seems to go dead, and I was concerned that we had the chat about scoring too early.
Yes.
But then Haaland's on the pitch, isn't he? And all of a sudden it's just. Haaland's second goal. We were just talking about here the way that Kevin De Bruyne put the ball through for him to slide into the back. Wasn't even like a pass for Haaland. It was almost like a temptation. Can you do something with this ball?
Yeah, just in the area.
He was like, go, gadget, leg. Slides it in. David De Gea is like, where did you come from? What a half.
Yeah, I'm a bit like you. I'm a bit all over the place. Listen, that was phenomenal football by City. It really was. I mean, in every department, the pace, the quality, the first goal starts on the right, eventually it's on the left. Ronaldo, he flashes it across. Foden's there. It's total football. And you talk about the goal for this, I think it was the second one, the quality of pass. It's just unreal. It really is. I'm sitting there thinking, how's he seen the pass? How's he delivered?
Yeah.
I can't put into words what a great first half performance that was. And don't get me wrong, United, it's not. They were trying.
I'll give it a go, man. Like, if you asked me as a kid to sit there, okay, look, go back to young Stephen 30 years ago, baby there, just wanted City to win. If you asked me to write an ideal first half of football, like sit there and script it, it would have been this. It would have been battering United 4-0 at half-time. It would have been two boyhood City fans scoring the goals and playing free-flowing football. And United reduced to a team that looks like relegation fodder, just trying to get the ball and not being able to touch it. This is what I would have written. This is everything I've ever wanted. This is incredible. And the amount of times we beat United over the years, but we haven't really pushed, for the kill and really gone for it. Today, City have. Yeah. They come out, they're ruthless, absolutely ruthless, no mercy, and I love it, man.
I mean, David, I remember in our pre-show, you picked up on it, particularly with Kevin De Bruyne saying, even just from the way they were training on the pitch beforehand, there was that concentration, there was that ruthlessness, and it's played out. I mean,
it's interesting, and hopefully the viewers or the listeners kind of felt the same way, because I know the commentary was talking about it. City always had control of the game. I don't think that was a problem. But after the first goal, it kind of went into a bit of a lull. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at Kevin De Bruyne, and he wasn't moving much. He was just kind of ambling around. And then all of a sudden, it's like something switches in his head. It's like, I'm going to take this game to the next level. Bang, bang, bang. He's got 2 assists. Yeah. And then Haaland's assist for Foden's second. Everyone is on it.
Yes.
Absolutely on it. I'm looking at David De Gea when these goals are going, even the first goal. He goes to the left thinking, and then Foden pops in and scores near post. Yeah. And he's like, where did that come from? Yeah. It's almost like they're playing against a team and they can't even see the players they're playing against.
Yeah.
It is.
It's frightening.
Oh,
it's frightening. It is. And it's, I think as well it's important to be said, Joleon Lescott's here as well. I mean, there's so many City legends around, which is great to see. But Joleon just said he was like, it's been one of the most complete team performances. Said every single player individually has been unbelievable. Akanji and Ake at the back. Can we take a moment for Akanji before we get to the goal scorer?
We need to.
Akanji, man. Talk to me about Akanji.
Well, the number of times, well, that's a number of times. It's been only once or twice when they've had the situation to perhaps have a go at our defence, and he's just come across like a freight train, and just like, I think it was Rashford one time. Oh, the body. It was just like weights. But also showing his pace. And then it was another time in the left corner. He's down in the corner, and he's looking like a midfielder. He's playing a 1-2. Yeah. I think it was Gundogan coming out. Yeah, I'm just thinking.
And then he ended up in the final third.
Yeah. You could get a supercomputer right and to design a Pep Guardiola centre back, and it'd be him. That's what would spit out the other end. Like everything about him: intelligence, pace, guile, strength, greater passing with both feet as well. And Menson, the best thing I can say about him is he's got Fernandinho's number on the back of his shirt, and he looks like he deserves it. Yeah. That's the biggest compliment I can say to this guy. Meant so far. And
what I also, reading the game, because United's threat has been, and you can see them doing it. Rashford getting in a position to do the run over the top. He drops into a position and cuts the ball out. And it's like, well, what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, I wouldn't ever want to be in that change room, but if you're in that United change room at the moment, I'm wondering what Ten Hag is saying to his players. And I listen to the commentary, the same thing. What are you going to say? Guys...
Yeah.
Let me pop next door and see if we can get this one called off now.
You know what? It was no surprise to me. I saw Varane go off injured by the end. Honestly, I genuinely think he's gone. I'm done for today.
I'm done for today. Yeah, I'm going garden centre and do whatever.
He's world class, and the thing is, he's probably like, I don't think I've ever lost a game 4-0. I'm not going to hang around. I think I'm.
Beat the traffic.
We'll leave little Martinez will deal with big Haaland, shall we? I mean, we got the goals to talk about as well for you all at home. I mean, don't worry, we're back at full time where we'll be able to get into everything in more detail. But
will we have time? Because there's probably going to be more.
It's going to be. I'll have to put in another show for you if we end up doing a big show. No, but you mentioned it. It was Phil Foden with the first goal, and you said De Gea. It's like he kind of popped up, but the finish as well, David, to lift it.
And again, I was watching the finishing in the warm up. Side foots bending into their sort of side goal, if that makes sense. So Phil Foden left to the left-hand side. It was effortless. They were all doing it. That was a scary thing. And it was if you can train for the game in that warm-up, that was it. Phil Foden, side foot, effortless, and David De Gea is just in shock. I mean, we're talking 8 minutes into the game. This is after the little triple shot move beforehand. So all of a sudden it's like, well, hang on, Man City are on this. Then next thing it's 1-0 down, and it's like, oh, what do we do for the next 40 minutes?
You're absolutely right. I mean, it was times we were just peppering them, and it shows you they were trying because they were getting blocks in. I mean, De Bruyne is, having a shot, and I think it was Foden. The boys are queuing up,
Grealish,
and they were getting blocks in.
The
only one who hasn't had a shot yet is Cancelo.
Well, then
that'll happen. We know it will.
I mean, were you right? But then it was another flurry of shots which ended up going to the corner because for the second goal, which Varane kind of had gone down, but within that, I think Grealish had tried to take the shot. Foden had tried to take another shot. I can't remember if it was Bernardo or maybe even Gundogan. Then it's gone out for the corner, which as a United player as well, if I'm seeing Varane then off the pitch for something that felt just like a knock. Do you know? And then Haaland, I mean, then how nice is it to see a striker scoring a goal from a corner with a head, not our centre half, Shaun?
Well, this is what he's there for. All these bits as well. Again, it's De Bruyne, a quality ball in, absolute quality ball in, and I think it was Eriksen that was actually marking him. Which
there wasn't anyone marking him.
Should have been Varane.
And he drifts inside to McInerney where he ends up heading it, and he looks like he's about 4 or 5 inches over McInerney. And you just think, well, who can stop this guy? Who can really stop him? Brilliant delivery, gets his head on it, and it's way over the line.
And then think about his stats as well so far, by the way. What a second to appreciate. He's got 13 goals already in 8 games in the Premier League and 2 assists as well. So that's 15 goal contributions in 8 games. And he's not completed, I don't know how many he's completed, but I guarantee it isn't 90 minutes and most of it. Probably about 6 full games or something like that, which is just, it's unreal. How many assists for KDB as well so far?
How many touches he's had as well.
I know.
Put into the equation from Haaland.
He was going to be a flop, wasn't he? What a flop Haaland is from Dortmund. Then we had the next goal then, of course, and I think he was one of the best 45 minutes. I mean, I've seen a lot of them play. Phil Foden, almost unplayable there. Got the second goal undeserved as well, Stephen. It was a
wonderful stuff. Beautiful finish. I mean, his second as well, of course. I mean, Erling, once again, showing another side to his game. That a De Bruyne across from off centre forward. Do you know that old cliche about centre forwards being able to take a cross and stuff like that? Could you ever take a cross?
Well, not as good as that.
But there was that cliche, wasn't there? But that was beautiful. I mean, but you look at Foden today and you think maybe he did learn a thing or two playing as a false nine last season, because they were strikers finishes, weren't they? Know exactly where to be and up for it, massively up for it as well. And on the right, Foden looks lively. He looks really alert. He's been absolutely immense, perfect.
And the other goal, and Shaun, I'm going to come back to you because you being the striker on the panel today. It was our third goal, Haaland's second. I mean, is this the start now of this De Bruyne-Haaland partnership that we've been talking about? And funnily enough, Haaland gave a brilliant interview, I think, on Thursday, talking about, I know when we get our timing spot on and he plays the ball, I'll score the goal. And that was case in point. I mean, but only he, I feel, could reach that. I mean, talk us through that.
Well, I mean, I think, if I'm right, it started a bit with De Bruyne running along the line and how he's kept this ball in for 2 or 3 challenges was amazing. It goes inside. But eventually, once he then gets his head up, I'm not sure if I'm mixing up the 2 goals, but once he gets his head up and delivers that ball, we were talking over and we were saying, like that ball was so far in front of Haaland.
Yeah.
Is it an actual pass to Haaland? But because Haaland is so exceptionally quick,
fast,
off the
and
mark,
long legs.
So long and fast.
he gets his foot to it, and you just think, and the guy sort of runs far post, and he's thinking it can't be nobody there.
Yeah.
And the ball's just in the net because
Where did you come from?
Where does he come from?
Who else
Where
could
does he
score
come
that
from?
goal? That's the thing.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pass for Haaland, but the ball doesn't look like a pass. That's the beauty of it.
Because he makes
You
up
talk-
that time.
I said recently, the scary thing about City, and even today at 4-0, 20 minutes of that game, they weren't doing much.
Yeah.
Right? I think when City get it bang on, they are capable of scoring double figures.
It's
That's why-
Why not today, David?
Yeah,
Why
but-
not today?
But this
No,
is the
that's
thing,
the
and
reality.
the pass for Haaland's second goal was exactly what you're on about, because it's kind of like, I know where you're going to go,
Yes.
and you know where I'm going to put it.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Any other team, that's kind of goes floating past the far post, the forward's going, I didn't, whatever, and it's just like, no, it's fine, you do that.
I mean,
and my fantasy team is absolutely flying.
Same, yeah.
Love to see. Unlucky. Finally,
Captain
for once,
Haaland.
I've got Haaland captain. I mean, Shaun, you're an old teammate of yours, Alfie Haaland. I mean, how must he be feeling, Shaun? Have you had a chance to even spoke to him at all, or?
I haven't caught up with him, but I will have a chance. Listen, he must be so proud, and I wonder, even as a father, whether he thinks his son surprised him in this team.
Yeah.
Because I thought he would have done well, but to produce the amount of goals he's produced, the performances he's produced, it surprised me. I wonder if it surprised Pep. I don't think they'll ever say it, but this is phenomenal. The amount of goals this guy's getting, and he's not having loads of touches. If you go back and track that game, that half, he's had probably 6 touches.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing with
Goals and
Haaland
assists.
was for the goals. My concern for him coming to City wasn't about whether he would score goals or not. It was whether he was going to play every game. And the one thing that he's been able to do, and I think that has to be either a pat on the back for the physio team or the strength and conditioning team. He's been available for every game.
Yes.
When he's available, the guy can score goals. There wasn't ever a question. So is his dad surprised? I think maybe his dad might be thinking, well, he's fit, good.
Yeah,
he'll
that's-
score goals.
Well, do you know what? It's funny, and I think maybe adding to that, I think maybe 2 things are, because he's scoring either 2 goals or a hat trick before 60 minutes. Pep's able to go, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We've got 5 subs. Yeah.
There was, I think, an article this week to say he's actually now brought one of the City physios with him to Norway,
Yeah.
so he must be very happy with the medical team and the work they're doing. So credit to them, like you say. The United players have just taken to the pitch behind me. I think there's going to be a substitution for United. Just as we were on air there, Luke Shaw, you might have seen, was warming up in the background, which is understandable because both fullbacks were on yellow cards. Unlucky there for them. And so I'm not sure which one will be
just
coming
Luke
off.
then. Not another 10.
But the score is 4-0. Are we going to be treated to another 4 goals? I hope so. But it has made for very happy viewing so far. Actually, I can see a sub here maybe for City. We've got our young left-back Gomez is stripped up there on the bottom of the screen.
No, he
So
was on
maybe-
Walker.
He came on for.
Oh, did he come on? I missed that
Yeah.
at the end. Right, OK. Who did he come on for?
Walker.
You shouldn't have been celebrating so much.
I was. At least it's video footage. OK, sorry, there's the sub. So we'll be back at full time. Fingers crossed to talk about more goals, but digging into everything we've seen so far. And I will be with David, James, Shaun, and Stephen McInerney. Thank you for joining us. Now it's time to hand over to our commentary team for the game, Alistair, Mann and Andy Morrison. Over to you. Come on, City.
Thank you, Kel. Well, did you know that City have never scored more than 4 goals in a home derby? We know, of course, they've scored 6 away at Old Trafford. We know, of course, they've scored 5 at Main Road in a 5-1 win, but they've never done it in the Premier League era. Well, they've got the opportunity to do it today.